welcome to midweek matchups for Balls.ie and Chicago Town. Over the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking you through all of the midweek football action from the Champions League to the Conference League. Well, I'm delighted to be joined now by Roddy Collins and Treacy. Lads, it's good to have you here. There is only one place to start. There's only one show in town. The emotion of seeing Ireland qualified for the playoffs of the World Cup. What was it like, Roddy?
It was just unbelievable, you know. But look, we talk about football, Keith, and we talk about fine margins and how tight things are. That was seconds, and it was inches, millimetres, the header from scales. But when you look at Parrott, not getting too technical, coming into it, and he stretched every senior to get that part that he stood onto a ball. That's when we talk about fine margins. But I didn't see that happening.
No,
to be quite honest with you.
To be fair, when we went 1-0 down after 2 minutes of the game, I thought, this is the Irish team I know. And I've been really, really critical of the Irish team. I said they're not willing to suffer out possession. They don't put bodies on the line. You know, they're not willing to bleed for the jersey. And they've proved me wrong. The last 2 games, they've totally turned it around. I have hope, belief going into the playoffs. And yeah, the lads have proved me wrong, and Troy has been absolutely brilliant. But Scales as well.
The goal went in after 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I was happy with that.
When Hungary scored?
Yeah, I because so early in the game, I said, it's a long haul now. They only need a draw. Right? Yeah. They're going to drop off at some stage. And we talk about football and the beautiful passing game that Stephen Kenny tried to introduce. That's not us. It's not there.
No.
Our DNA is rolling up them sleeves and getting stuck right in. And when we got the equaliser, I thought, right, these are going to drop off. Again, at some stage, they get one, we get one, and then I go and turn the telly off. I can't. It was too emotional. It was too emotional.
I think that was the first time that I was in the Aviva Stadium and felt that energy and belief behind the squad. That's something new.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And I was so shy to get back on the wave of optimism, because the first game against Hungary in Dublin, I'm walking down Bath Avenue and people are spilling out in the pubs, and Hamer Hagmerson is really good in the press conferences. He gives you that bit of belief, but it's a fine line between blind optimism and actually having a little bit of substance to your words. And he was coming out saying the lads look bigger, they look taller in the jerseys, they're walking around the hotel, and we were so poor in that first 45 minutes against Hungary. I thought, where are we going here? But it's a really, really simplistic game plan. Cullen, he has a lot of attributes, a lot that we like to highlight and think he doesn't play forward or not. But don't give him them responsibilities. Give him responsibility to win the ball and just give it out to the wing. And if we just keep, like when Dallo is high and Joe Cancelo is high, you don't need visual confirmation when you win the ball to play it into that area. Win it, play it, people get runners in there. And Inacio is one of the best young centre-halves that plays for Portugal. Ruben Diaz plays for Manchester City, yet they look so uncomfortable chasing the ball towards their own goal. So why do we wait till our nose is bloody like Hungary when we go 1-0 down to think, OK, now we'll start going forward? Like Arsenal with their set pieces within the Premier League, it's like a sexy team does it, and now we go, now we can do this.
It's like the long throw,
lean into it. Yeah, the long throw.
I mean, there's fellas out there, they've coaching badges up to their tonsils, and they've all these patterns of play. Suddenly the long throw's fashionable again. And I can tell you now, we've lost a generation of number 9s. They'll be back in the Look, Ireland, like Scotland, like Northern Ireland, get the ball forward. I don't mean lump it forward. Get it forward into constructive areas. Play football in there.
Yeah.
Not, like, we can't play out in the back. Although when you look at our players, our defensive players, and our goalkeeper, we could match any team in Europe. You know, so, I'm very optimistic, but I liked that man. I listened to him, and what he says is, it resonates with me. I get it as a manager, what he's saying. He simplifies it. Now, people have been pulling him down for not going to watch games and all that. Watch games for what reason? Yeah. You can watch games on telly all day. Arsene Wenger done it with Arsenal, you know.
Well, we're going to move on to the Champions League, because Liverpool, they play PSV on Wednesday night. So the last time we saw Liverpool in the Champions League, they were brilliant against Real Madrid, and then they lost 3-0 to Man City. It's been a roller coaster this season for Liverpool. What do you think is going on, Keith?
I think, obviously, I don't want to underplay the Diogo Jota passing away. Obviously, that's something that will just linger in the dressing room. How smiley he was, not even his footballing ability. I think that can be replaced to a certain extent, but just the way he was, really bubbly character, always smiling. So I think that's a big miss. But when you've got a whole host of players that don't come to the party in terms of performances, you're going to struggle. I mean, Florian Wirtz, I've seen an awful lot of him playing for Germany. I think he's a brilliant player, and I think he will come good at Liverpool. But his physicality is awful. absolutely awful. Any times there's a fighting ball, he's thinking about winning free kicks rather than out muscling somebody, which in the Premier League is not something you can keep getting away with. Kerkez is somebody who was brilliant for Bournemouth going forward, but defensively everybody now is thinking, I think we can get some change out of him going backwards. Kanate doesn't look like the Kanate we all know. Even Van Dijk has started to come down a little bit of a level. Conor Bradley, I know we look at him through Irish eyes and think, isn't it great to have somebody from Northern Ireland playing for Ireland? I still think he gets highlighted in a defensive manner. Can they go and expose him? Trent leaving Liverpool is a big one. It's like turning a tap off on Mohamed Salah. And I think out of all the new players and everybody else, Ekitike is the only one I look at and think, he's impressed me a little bit. Everybody else, even McAllister, World Cup winner, I don't think he's come to the party just yet either.
Well, we have Arsenal against Bayern Munich as well. Can't wait for this one, Wednesday night. So obviously a fascinating setup with Harry Kane against Arsenal. Two of the best teams so far, maybe, in the competition. Do you think so?
I think, the two most impressive teams in Europe so far. I think Bayern Munich have only conceded the 3 so far in the Champions League. Arsenal yet to concede. But I think we'll actually get goals just given the amount of attacking talent both teams have. Look, I'm very weary that I'm an Arsenal fan, but I think Arsenal have been the most impressive. Just pipped Bayern Munich, given that Arsenal that little bit more defensively solid. And I love the squad strength. Like, we've Christian Norgard on the bench, who was brilliant for Brentford last season, barely gets a kick of a ball for us. Wanyeri is a young player I love. Max Dowman is only 15, but when he plays for Arsenal, he looks like a really, really good player. And like I said, Mosquera, 15 million for that boy. And when he plays ahead of, or instead of Saliba or Gabriel with those little injuries, Ben White doesn't even play. So I think Arsenal can go and compete on all fronts, win the Premier League, be there or thereabouts in the Champions League. But if I was going to throw some stick at Arteta,
I don't like Declan Rice as a player. Don't know him as a fella. I think he's a bit of a bluffer. I think he throws shapes. He looks the part. He gets a ball, he passes it 5 yards. I think he's about 2 or 3 goals this season. Out of 11 Premier League.
I think he's good this season, no?
yeah, I love him, to be honest. Set piece delivery.
Yeah.
Hold on, set piece delivery. It's not American football, Keith. Do you know what I mean?
But when you look at his corners,
He looks like a bit of a leader within the squad as well.
yeah, I would give him all. I'd give his. I think he reads the game well. He breaks it up. I think he's a decent engine.
Defensively?
Yeah, I think he does all that. I mean, he done it very well for West Ham. When he's gone for Arsenal, it's a little bit off the leash because we've got Zubimendi and 1 or 2 others that can do that. I think he's a brilliant engine, brilliant set piece. And I know what you're saying. Any professional footballer should be able to whip a decent ball in. But when you see lads whipping balls in from corner kicks and deliveries, and you look at Declan Rice's delivery and Saka's, by the way, they are levels above, and that's why set pieces are so dangerous.
No, I just think he's overrated. I really do.
I think the English do that, though, don't they? The English get a player.
Yeah, but he's Irish, Keith.
Well, tell him that because he's playing for the wrong team.
Well, on Tuesday night, we've a famous Champions League fixture. We've Chelsea versus Barcelona. How impressed have you been with Barcelona this season, Keith?
Yeah, I've been impressed with them. I think going forward, every team will fear them. Marcus Rashford has shown that he still has a little bit about him. Obviously, Robert Lewandowski is knocking around as well, and they've got that young man, Lamine Yamal, who just keeps getting better and better. The older he's getting, he's still very, very young. I think they're really good. I think in the middle of the park, they can control games. They've got players to do that, but defensively, that high line is so kamikaze at times. It's crazy. I like Eric Garcia, I like Arejo as centre halves. I think they're not bad, but when you're on the halfway line and people just keep lumping balls over you, and every elite team now, like they're playing against Chelsea. Chelsea's wingers will just keep flying in behind, and it's a timing issue. If you get it right, you'll be able to hurt Barcelona. And although everybody be thinking they're very, very good at the top end of the park, everybody will be thinking we can also hurt them. So Chelsea themselves haven't got a great defensive record. They let in an awful lot of goals. So I think there'll be a lot of goals in that game, a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, I think everyone looks forward to Barcelona in the Champions League. Well, looking at the Europa League then, we have Celtic versus Feyenoord. So obviously Martin O'Neill, he is in with Celtic. He is back again. Last time out against Michelin, they lost 3-1. They had good results against Falkirk and Rangers as well. What a game. To have Martin O'Neill back in there, he brings an energy. He has an aura about him. And you can see he's getting that bounce. He knows the game.
I followed Celtic all the way through to Seville when they played Porto that day. And I'll be a great supporter of Martin O'Neill. I think it's a brilliant appointment. When what's your name? Brendan Rodgers. When Brendan Rodgers come back, I was raging because he's a career politician in football. He looks after his own corner. And when Dermot Desmond put him in his place, yeah, I agreed with everything. Martin O'Neill coming in, just give him the job at the end of the season. I'm only here till no, you're not, Martin. We all want you in there. And Maloney will do a job with him. He knows the game. He's brilliant. Celtic don't have a great squad. However, you've got to manage squads that ain't great. And Martin O'Neill can manage squads that ain't great. And he has a great sense of humour. Good friend of mine, John Hartson, back in the day was playing for Celtic. And Martin says, John, warm up, you're going on. 20 minutes into the game, he was on the pitch. So Martin is loved by all the players, loved by all the supporters, and has the knowledge. Yeah. People talk about age. Football management now is not about running around and you have coaches doing all that. It's about your knowledge, your communication skills with individuals and with a group of players. And he's an expert at that.
Well, moving on then to the Conference League, it's been incredible to see 2 Irish teams in the Conference League for the very first time. I think you can feel that buzz, Keith, around the League of Ireland. And I think just Irish fans as a whole that might never have supported the League of Ireland are now taking a massive interest. And we have new fans now too.
That's brilliant. You know, to my shame, I wasn't a massive League of Ireland fan while I was over playing in England. It wasn't like it was. Now you can watch League of Ireland, you can stream all the games. Virgin do an awful lot of coverage. But since I come back in 2015, I started playing for Drogheda and then I played for St. Pat's. I've been invested in the league since 2015 and it's just getting better year on year. And, you know, we started the tour and think, well, Shamrock Rovers will be there now. We expect Shamrock Rovers to get group stage football. That's a crazy thing to say. 18 months ago, if I'd have said that, people would have gone, Keith's losing his marbles.
Yeah.
Now Shelbourne are in there, Shamrock Rovers are in there. We're saying, can a Bows get there? Can a Patsnick in there? And these are realistic thoughts. These are not just away with the fairy things. Yeah. And the fact that Shelbourne have group stage football, Shamrock Rovers have group stage football, it's absolutely amazing. And like I say, I'm a Pats man as well in the League of Ireland. I think Pats will be looking, thinking, why can't we go and do that? And Shelbourne are obviously up against it at the minute, but they've had a little case of it. Rovers have had a good bit of European exposure. But Shelbourne, although, you know, they've 1 point on the board, they'll be looking, thinking, we're more hungry and we want to keep getting into Europe and keep doing that, and financial rewards are absolutely
even
massive.
From a supporter's perspective, people are saying to me, I'm a Bow supporter, season's over, I'm going to go and support Rovers. They're saying that.
I know.
You know, so
I've seen
like,
it, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you'll have people like the neutrals going to support Shells if they're near Tala. So it's going to grow the game. And as Keith said, I've been in it 40 odd years. When it was a pub league, I played in it when it was a pub league. I managed in it when it was a pub league. But the progress is unbelievable. And Shamrock Rovers they're the leading light in my whole 40 odd years experience in Irish football. And they're getting stronger and stronger and stronger. It's up to other people to go with them. And then you've got benefactors coming in investing money in it. We just need to get the stadium sorted out.
Yeah.
But no, Rovers. But it's great. I mean, they're double winners. How will they react to now playing when the season's extended in Europe?
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
A superior confidence and a freedom, or will they be, come here, I'm sick of this now at this stage of the game?
That's it. Well, looking then as well at AZ against Shells, which is, of course, Troy Parrott's club. So after scoring 5 goals for Ireland, he's going to be in action against Shelbourne. He couldn't write this.
He's going to score 5 against Shelbourne as well. And we're going to cheer them.
Well, the Irish actually
it's the Troy Parrott show now. Forget about anything else. Yeah.
But as an Irishman, and obviously with Belvedere as well, you must have been so proud to see him perform the way he did.
Yeah, look at where I'm from in the North Inner City. You can get a lot of stick for the wrong reasons, I should say. A lot of things can take your eye. A lot of bad things can take your eye in the North Inner City. But Troy, what he's done, I think when you're born in the North Inner City, you're born with resilience. You're born with backbone, and you will always bounce back because of where you're from. It's just inherent in us. It's just one of those things. And when Jose Mourinho put Troy on playing for Spurs, I can't remember who they were playing, but Jose came out after the game and said, I told you he wasn't ready. Sort of put him out as a sacrificial lamb to tell everybody, I'm right, you're wrong. That can scar the lad. That can really, really scar the lad. And then us, through our own selfish needs and within the Irish team, thought, you need to be Robbie Keane and you need to be him now. And we kicked him into the Irish team and he wasn't quite ready. And that scarred him as well. And you look at Aaron Connolly, who was thrown in there as well, and he's been scarred by it. For Troy to bounce back and go to AZ Alkmaar and score goals. And even when he's scoring goals at AZ Alkmaar, we're all talking about Evan Ferguson. Evan Ferguson's gone to Roma. Evan Ferguson is the man.
Yeah.
He must have been sitting there thinking, I'm going to show every one of you I'm the main man. And I'm just absolutely delighted that he's gone and done it. And his family walking around the North Inner City, the flags are outside their house. It's just great, you know, because
The interviews with them, it's so heartwarming.
You could nearly put an international team out from the inner city. Like, he's not going to mention himself.
Yeah.
You've got Trevor Malloy.
Yep.
Who could have played at the top level and did won a World Youth Cup, was it? World Youth Cup medal?
Yeah, underage,
Brian
yeah.
Kerr, Thomas Morgan,
Morgs, yeah.
Isto Flood,
Wes Houlihan.
Choco Yumpley, Graham Book,
Yep.
Jack Bourne.
Yeah.
Right? Now I'm going to show my age. The greatest footballer ever to come out of the inner city. He never played League of Ireland, but he was the greatest footballer, Pancho McMahon. Did you ever hear of him?
I know Pancho, yeah. Pancho be walking around East Wall and Sherry Street now with a lawnmower and his little ladder. Great bloke.
We played the summer football tournaments in around the Diamond and all that. He could make a ball talk. He was brilliant. He was brilliant.
What do you think that is? Do you think it's street football? Growing up playing the street football?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I think street football gave me a massive advantage. And when you go and kick a ball off a flat wall and it comes back, that's technique work. But when you go and kick it off a wall that has all them little lumps and it's coming back in different ways, it's all technique work and that sort of stuff. Like, I was a little bit of a loner as a child. I just had a football with me 24/7, but that's what gave me the platform to go on and be a footballer. And then obviously 2002 Saipan was what lit a fire in me. Damien Duff was like, I want to be that guy. But street football is massive, and I don't think we have street footballers anymore.
No, do you know what we have now, Keith? We've kids getting coached.
Within an inch of their life.
Within an inch of their life. There's no there's no thought process. Oh, I seen a kid down in Limerick in the Milk Cup, took the ball inside, 14 years of age, took the ball inside, his coach is shouting, pass it inside. One more, top corner. That'll never happen again. Yeah. Pass it inside. It's getting coached to death. When we were kids, we were called in off the street. My father would go, you run in, get your dinner, put the rest on a piece of bread out and play football till it was dark against the lamp on the roads. That's what we done. That's what was done in the inner city. Because you had nothing else really to occupy you. And it was different, you know, now it's coached. You have to, there's like robots there. But when you get the ones, I had Trevor Malloy in my team. I tried to sign Wes Houlihan when he was 16. And inner city lads are different, right? Because they're always watching. They watch everything. They're always alert. It's like a tannoid is up. You see, I'm up around Castleknock and the kids are going on phones like that. They don't lift their head. They don't know what's going on around the world. But inner city kids, they're watching everything. They're alert. And you can see that in the football pitch. Call it what you want, but Troy Parrott's goal, the winning goal, right, wasn't something that just dropped off the head of Scales. He's seen that and anticipated it. That's the thought process, you know.
And having a bit of flair. We don't want to lose this in the game, I often think. And you get that from street football, things like that. Just being yourself and not being fully coached to...
Yeah,
I always think the best manager, again, was Sean Dyche I played for. He would have me exactly within a yard of where I needed to be in a defensive formation. But when I won the ball in their final third, go and do what you like.
That's my idea as a manager. Like Dyche, you have to be defensive. When you get to the final third, do what you want. It's not an exact science.
Yeah.
You know, just go and play how you see it and enjoy it. And if you feel like doing what your man done last night or last week, wherever for Scotland, chipping it and 20 yards. Do it. If it's the corner flag, so be it. It's an entertainment business we're in here.
Yes, entertainment is definitely a word for it. There are so many games to look forward to. We cannot wait for it. And we'll be back next week as we look ahead to the final round of the league phase fixtures. See you then.